What's going on, everybody? It's Alex here with Alex Velty Music, and today I just kind of wanted to walk you through some options for tuning software. Now, I'll walk you through three. I've got Waves Tune, Melodyne, and Antares. And for me, these kind of ascended in price as I bought them. So Waves came in at around $30. The version of Melodyne that I got was like $50. I think it might have been on sale from 100 or something like that. But then if you jump all the way up to Antares, the version that I got was I think $300 or $400. So quite a price tier, quite a jump from there. But we'll start kind of at the bottom and work our way up. So with Waves, this is the one that I would actually recommend if you really are pinching pennies and you don't have much of a budget for tuning software. This is a really great software to have, and it's not perfect in the sense that it doesn't sound like supernatural, especially if you've got a singer-songwriter who maybe they weren't the best singer or they didn't get the best takes, and you're trying to use this. It's gonna fight a little bit as far as how natural you get it to sound, but it can do a pretty good job with that. It especially shines with hip hop and R&B, rap. I really like using it there because, especially with those genres, it doesn't always matter, and sometimes it's actually preferred that the tuning is not so veiled. It's just kind of like, hey, here's this vocal, and yes, it's tuned. But you still can use it for other things besides hip hop and rap. And there's a lot of parameters here: your speed, your note transition. You can choose your range, your voice type, and that kind of helps with the format and some of the way it scales those notes. But you also have, you can select a myriad of scales over here in different qualities. And so I would say it's a solid software to have, especially for $30. Now, the one that I actually don't use this super often, but it's still pretty solid, is Melodyne. And Melodyne, really, to me, is one of the more natural sounding tuning softwares, and it's got a couple things that are pretty unique to Logic, like the Melodyne ARA, which is kind of a real-time, just gives you the waveforms and allows you to tune kind of more in real time, but we won't get too much into that. But really the main thing I have to say about Melodyne is that it sounds very natural. It's really great for singer-songwriter, any kind of vocal that you're trying to get a really just nice, transparent sound with. So that's my big thing with Melodyne. I think I recommend having it around if you do have the cash to spend. You can get it on sale sometimes for $50, or when it's not on sale, I think it's around $100 for just the Essential, which really, to me, the Essential is all you need unless you're trying to do any kind of like polyphonic tuning, which I've not done a lot, but some people do that, and it's pretty incredible what you can do with the polyphonic functions when you scoot down the road a little bit with the Melodyne stuff and you maybe jump for some of the more expensive packages. But for the most part, all you're going to need is Melodyne Essential, and that'll be perfect for any kind of vocal needs. Okay, so then what I love probably the most, and I use this tuning software a lot, is Antares. And now for any of you who know much about the history of Auto-Tune, this was kind of the original. So this thing's been fine-tuned and edited for the past however many years, really since T-Pain kind of discovered and pirated it off of someone. But Antares is really great. It allows you to work within multiple genres. I've used it in everything from rap, hip hop, singer-songwriter, metal, hardcore. It allows you to do so many things. And something I actually didn't mention is that you can use these tuning softwares on monophonic instruments. I've used it on guitar before. It's really nice on slide guitar when you're trying to maybe get rid of some of those uglier transitions or not so perfect transitions. But be that as it may, Antares is a great software all across the board, in my opinion, and you can make it sound really natural. You can make it sound super crazy and super Travis Scotty, T-Painy, but people have been using it for a long time. People still use it, and I love it. And you can even go into the graph mode if you want to hand tune specific notes and adjust formants, but I typically leave it in the auto mode and then use automation to kind of adjust the retune speed as I'm going along. So yeah, so that's what I have to say about those three softwares. Again, just depending on your budget, I would recommend maybe starting with WavesTune. It's like 30 bucks, or at least it was when I got it, and Waves is always running sales on their software. So maybe start with WavesTune, see what you think about that, and you might move on up to Auto-Tune one of these days. It's super expensive, but to me it's very worth it, and the parameters you can adjust and the way it works and the transparency you can get, or the total just crazy tuned out you can get with it, to me it's worth having, just so you can swing between those two extremes. So I hope you got a lot out of this and that this helps your decisions, and I'll talk to you next time.